What's up, Grub Squad? Gamer Grub here, bringing you our zombie apocalypse survival guide. That's assuming you want to sit at home and play zombie games rather than actually go out and kill zombies. In the video, we will be highlighting some of the best zombie games currently available to online players. They're all exclusive to PC. If any do come out for the consoles in the near future, you can be sure we'll be covering those too. So let's get started. The first game we will be covering is the highly popular Dayz. Dayz is a mod created by Dean Hall for the 2009 release Arma 2 and its expansion pack Operation Arrowhead. The original mod has proved very popular to the point of where Dean Hall, also known as Rocket on the forums, has been officially recruited by Bohemia Interactive to join the staff, and they're actually working on a standalone version of the game as we speak. There was recently an announcement regarding the release date of the standalone product, so if you want to look at that, take a look in the description below and we'll link you to the Gamer Grub blog with all the latest news for Dayz. The game has pretty much set the foundations for the zombie MMO world. It's the very first one that was really a client-based game. You've got a few browser-based ones that came before it, but Dayz is the ones that set the way for a number of other games that are coming up. I did try and record some more exciting footage for you guys. I did search out some players and try to find some weapons, but I didn't have very much luck. So pretty much what you're seeing here is what you'd experience as a new player in Dayz. It's not overly new player friendly. It does have a very steep learning curve, and you'll quite often find that you spend most of your time with your face in the grass. It is a free roam game, so you have no restrictions based on where you can go other than the map limits itself. You're not forced to go and quest in a certain location or defeat certain monsters like a typical online game. This is a totally different survival experience where your number one goal is to stay alive. It's not that easy though. Staying alive involves finding food and water, avoiding the elements, avoiding players, and of course trying not to get eaten by zombies. As you can see from the above video, the game isn't perfect. It is originally a player mod despite its popularity. You'll hear the hatchet I'm using actually make gunfire noises from time to time, which is quite funny if not unrealistic to a certain extent. The zombies are also quite crazy. You'll see them run around in totally unpredictable paths. They'll come at you from different directions. I'm not sure if this is intended or a bug. It does add a bit of variety to the zombies as they chase you. It does make it a bit more difficult. You can't just sit there and wait for them to get in range and knock them over the head with a weapon of any sorts. Sadly, I managed to find one of the only towns that has no buildings you can interact with. I think I ran around this town for about 15 minutes. You can only go in one of the buildings. There's another downside to Dayz. It does use the Arma 2 engine and map, so there's not much in terms they could have done unless they redesigned everything, which is what the standalone game's hoping to do. Obviously, there are an assortment of items, weapons, camouflage, guns. There's a lot you can do. There's a lot available to you. You can fix up cars and go around driving with buddies, killing bandits or robbing new players, just killing zombies, clearing out towns. There's a lot of things you can do, but most of it isn't really open to a new player. You'll spend the majority of your time just trying to survive, finding the basics before you're able to sort of go to the more dangerous areas, compete with other players for the bigger loot spots, and hopefully get yourself a decent weapon. If you haven't played Dayz, it's well worth playing, but you would have to buy Arma 2 and the expansion in order to play it, which would currently set you back about $60, I think, on Steam. So it's probably best you wait for the standalone game. The Foundation release, which is basically a posh way of saying still in testing, should be released before Christmas. The full release has been delayed somewhat. Again, you can read the information regarding that on the Gamer Grub website, gamergrub.com. The link to the actual article is in the description below, so check that out if you want to look at the information regarding the release. Next up is my personally most anticipated MMO zombie title from Sandswept Studios, The Dead Linger. Unlike Dayz and some of the others will feature, The Dead Linger has not been surrounded by press and coverage. It's not from a big company with lots of bucks and lots of people. It's a relatively small studio. They're only able to make the game possible thanks to donations via a Kickstarter fundraiser. If you're not familiar with Kickstarter, it's basically a website where developers can go and, or anybody really, can go and place an idea of what they want to do, and then the public can commit a certain amount of funds to aid that particular person or group with achieving their goals. As you can probably see from the footage, it's in very, very early development. It is in early alpha, but it's a perfect example of why you shouldn't judge a game by its cover. It's currently got very basic features in it. It's got the map, it's got the zombies, it's got the player, and it's got some weapons and items and interiors, that kind of thing. But it has a huge amount of potential. One of the most discussed aspects of the game is the procedural map making. It uses mathematical algorithms as players explore the world to create the world they're actually living in. So for example, as you leave a town and you move in a certain direction, if no player has previously been in that direction, the game will automatically generate a game world around you. Now you're not just going to suddenly see stuff popping up. It does it from a distance, so it doesn't ruin the immersion, but it will totally construct the world as you progress through it. You know, depending on where you've just been and the regions around you. Sometimes it might do a residential area that's full of small houses. Other times an industrial area will come into play. You know, it generates the buildings, the interiors, the weapons, and this not only is a great feature for exploration purposes, but it also solves some of the bigger problems that plague the other zombie games, such as server hopping, ghosting, loot grinding, that kind of thing. You know, it gets rid of all of that by adding a really, really unique and innovative feature. The game is not perfect right now. There are a lot of bugs. As you can probably see in the video, I'm quite easily shooting zombies from about 500 meters away. But as I did mention previously, it's very early in development. You do have to pay if you want to experience the alpha at the moment. If you're not looking to, because there isn't really much, definitely keep an eye on it. You know, visit the website, chat to the developers. They're very personal. You know, players are able to modify certain parts of the game, skins, designs, that kind of stuff, and they'll put it in the game. They are fully supported by their community, and it's a very two-way relationship. It's not like other games where you're just ignored. You know, you throw ideas out there like, yeah, whatever, we don't care. These guys are actually listening. The game's still in early development, so there's plenty of chance for you to influence the outcome, so go over there and have a look. They have also just released information regarding build 004 called the Breach Update, which includes a variety of mechanical improvements for the game, as well as back-end fixes and technical jargon that nobody's really bothered about. There's a bunch of glitches that are going to be sorted out and some really exciting content news. Zombies are going to be able to break down doors, which is going to make barricading a lot more difficult. They're going to be smarter in the houses. They can be able to find you if you just sit in a house and hide away. They will come and get you. And a whole range of other exciting features. For the full patch notes, check out the description below and you will see a link to the article on gamergrub.com. Be sure to leave a comment if you enjoy the game. I'll leave you here with the final few seconds before we move on to the next one. Next up is the War Z, the newest MMO game featured in this video. Still in beta testing, so there's plenty to come in terms of features and content. Currently players are able to dive straight into the game after quite a decent character customization system. Explore the game world. Again, it's all about survival, finding water, finding food, try not to be eaten alive, and try not to get shot by hostile players. The game has had quite a sketchy launch. You know, it's not had the best press surrounding it. There's been a lot of negativity regarding some of the issues. The developers have been accused of doctoring screenshots to make the game look better than it actually is. They've been accused of banning players so that they purchase the game again. There's a whole lot of negative press. If you want to read more about it, there's an article on gamergrub.com. You can check it in the description below. It will take you straight there. All negative press aside, the game does have enough to warrant buying it. You know, it is quite exciting, especially if you've got a group of friends you can play with. Even now when there's very minimal content, you can grab 2 or 3 mates, go into the world, grab a weapon, and even then just harass other players, clear out zombies. There's all sorts of things you can do just with your imagination. You know, there's barricades you can find, like sandbags and wooden barricades and barbed wire, and lock yourselves in a building and hope to protect it. Obviously there are issues that plague the game similar to Dayz, ghosting, server hopping. If you're not familiar with the terms, ghosting, basically you go to one server and you hide in a room, and then you switch to another server, you spawn in that same room, and you can come in behind people that aren't really checking the area because they've already checked it. Quite a sketchy issue, but you know, it's common in these types of games at the moment. No one's really come up with anything to combat it other than the dead Linger, which hasn't received any credit for it whatsoever, so it's really good they're thinking about that. But the War Z still suffers with that issue quite predominantly at the moment. One of the worst or best aspects of the game, depending on how you look at PvP, is the hostility of the community. Hostile, if I could think of a more harsh word, I would. If they see you, they will kill you, whether they've got a flashlight, a gun, a hammer, anything, they will attack you. It's quite harsh, so if you're not up to losing everything because it doesn't feature full loot, then you might want to give this one a miss. And last up is Dead Frontier, the only browser-based game in this list. It was created originally, I think it was released in April of 2008. So it's quite an old one. It's got well over 1 million registered players, so it's a popular one. It's available in your browser, so there's no need for any big client download, you know, nothing like that. It's very easy to get into, very easy to play. You can sign up within 30 seconds, don't even have to verify your email address. It's very simple. It's created by Creaky Corps Limited, which is probably one of the cooler names of development companies around today. It works in all popular browsers: Firefox, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Safari, pretty much anything anyone uses it works. It's pretty unique in terms of what we've featured in this video so far, because there's no messing around. You get straight in and you're killing zombies with weapons within 20 seconds of creating your character. The character creation system is quite basic. You choose the basic outline, so cop or soldier, medic, scientist. each of which have different starting attributes or different bonuses towards crafting or anything like that. It's a very sociable game. You can turn PvP off, so you just fight against the zombies. When I was playing it, there was dozens of players with me in the very first starting zone, so there's no shortage of new players to get involved with, people to group up with, explore the game world. Other than the graphics, which aren't terrible, I couldn't really figure out any bad points about the game. It all seemed to work very well. There was no bugs or glitches. I didn't crash at all. I played for a good couple of hours and had zero problems whatsoever. You will have to excuse the quality of the video. It's a browser game, so it's in a small window. There is no full screen option, so I had to blow it up a little bit, but it does look a little bit better than it's featured here, but it's still pretty good for a top-down shooter. It's sort of got a feeling a bit of a dungeon crawling mechanics, sort of Diablo kind of style, where you're sort of top-down view, running around. Your main aim is to get loot and survive. It's very similar to the other games in the concept, so you've got to find food and water. Don't get killed by zombies and don't get killed by other players if you play PvP. So there we have it, Grub Squad. That's Gamer Grub's guide to the world of online zombie gaming. We will feature more videos hopefully in the future regarding zombie games. If you're interested, please leave us a comment. I am quite experienced in all of the games shown, so if you need any help, have any questions about the features or the future of the game, feel free to leave a question in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. You can visit us on Facebook, check us on Twitter. Both the links are in the description below, as well as links to all the articles we discussed during the video. We do publish the latest gaming news every day, every week, so be sure to check back for more on a regular basis at gamergrub.com. And if you're feeling a bit peckish, why not pick up a bag of PB&J?
Gamer Grub is available at these fine retailers.